Hello, my name is Dr. Jim Sternhell, and today I'm going to be sharing with you my technique for dealing with migraines and cluster headaches. Unfortunately, it'll do absolutely nothing for tension headaches or dehydration headaches, and unfortunately won't do anything about a cancer headache, because I do have to make the old politically correct disclaimer: if pain persists, see your medical professional. Not that I have a single politically correct bone in my entire body. I studied dentistry here at Sydney University many years ago, and I remember well in histology pracs in that lovely old building behind us, endless migraines. Was it from staring down the microscope, the glare, or was it the stuffiness of that lab? It doesn't really matter. I had endless agony from that. Everyone knows someone who's had a migraine at some stage in life. In fact, 20% of people have had migraines at some stage of their life. So the chances are you do know someone, and your friends would almost certainly have known someone who has had migraines or still gets them, and will be happy to hear this technique. It is very, very simple, requires no drugs, it costs absolutely nothing. And for that reason, it is quite likely to be taken off YouTube by the drug companies. And in fact, the medical professionals, they may be a little bit annoyed too, because it goes completely against the grain of what we think causes migraines and how they actually occur and what actually happens during a migraine. The basis of the technique is this: the thump, 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 it's always there. But when the system goes screwy, you start feeling it. The same thing with the ringing in your ears. It's always there, but when you say in a very quiet room, you start noticing it. However, so it's always there. The brain decides what inputs it's going to accept and what it's going to ignore. And the more you concentrate on the thump, 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 and all the pain and everything else associated, the worse the damn thing gets. So the secret is so simple. You concentrate on anything but the pain. Whatever it takes to get 100% concentration away from the thump, thump, thump is going to work. And it's using one of the other senses. So it can be visual, audio, perhaps even taste and smell might work for you. I'm going to go over techniques that work for me. They may not necessarily work for you. It's the principle. This will give you some ideas which should be shared in the comments below, so the rest of the world knows what works for you, what doesn't work for you. Freedom of expression is what it's all about, really. If we can't share ideas, really, we've lost our human freedom completely. One that works for me very well is a really stimulating conversation. We have to really think about the answer, 100% concentration on the answer. That works quite well. The easiest is visual, and you could be looking at something, I call it a visually sumptuous feast. It could be a beautiful opal, a lovely piece of jewellery, a really detailed photograph. Concentrate right into that and extract as much information, anything but thinking about that thump, thump, thump pain. That's the secret. It could be that sticking your tongue into a stinking red hot chili works. Luckily I haven't needed to try that yet. Smell works for some people. I tried with lavender oil and with hue and pine recently. It didn't work for me. It might work for you. Just because it doesn't work for me doesn't mean it's not going to work for someone else. So just try the variants. The idea is to get to you the gist of how it operates, this technique. If you think about it logically, caveman, he's out there with his mates, Og, and they're chucking spears at antelopes for dinner. And Og's got a migraine and just says to his mates, "Hey guys, I just need to chill out for a couple of hours under this nice, cool, shady acacia tree while they evaporate my migraine." Well, we know what's going to happen to Og, don't we? Yep, he's going to become cat food. Ironically, that 100% concentration Og's going to have when he suddenly realises the lion's about to bite his head off, his migraine is gone instantly. Unfortunately, it's a little bit radical a way of getting migraines gone by having your head bitten off by a lion, so I wouldn't recommend that. Same as I wouldn't recommend one we did recently. I was mentioning this technique to someone and said, "Oh, all you have to do is to cut off the blood supply to the brain." It so happened that I happened to have a very early migraine at the time from drinking a rather nice vodka. So I proceeded to cut off the blood supply to my brain, which of course could make you faint. That migraine was gone in 2 seconds. What that shows to me is that the current thinking of how migraines operate simply is not correct. and that's why the medical professionals may be a little bit miffed by this, because it rocks the boat on that. A good analogy on the technique is the mainstream media. All we ever hear from the mainstream media is who's bonking who in Hollywood, sport, half-truth, lies. You concentrate on that rubbish and you're going to land in hospital. You have to concentrate on alternate media, real stuff, things like InfoWars, Drudge and Fair Dinkum Radio, anything but the trashy inputs. You don't want those trashy inputs at all. So do share your comments below. Make copies of this, share it with your friends, repost it before it's taken down, and watch out for our next exciting video, which is something which everyone who consumes mainstream media needs to watch, or in fact, if you're involved in the production of mainstream media, you'll need to watch this. So, to summarise, the thump, it's always there. You have to concentrate on anything but the pain to get rid of it. Catch it early, you don't get a hangover. The analogy, once again, concentrate on anything but the trashy inputs, the who's bonking who in Hollywood, the sport, the half-truths that you hear. Go to those alternate media, the InfoWars, Drudge, Fair Dinkum Radio, anything but. Exactly the same principle. Have a good day. I forgot to do the hand rub.